What up, YouTube? It's June 24th. Just left the library. Okay, where I left off at, I started reading today, obviously. So she got done with the guy named Nigel, right? So she's basically talking about her and Aaron. And of course, they went back to the same routine. Hold on, let me show my shit again. I always got to do this. See? Anyway. Went back to the same routine. Of course, they didn't get back together like they did before. But they still had, was kind of fucking around a little bit. And then she said he started pulling his disappearing acts and this and that. But only this time because everything she had went through and all that, which unfolded in her revelations and epiphanies. She kind of grew immune to it. Like it didn't affect her as much. Plus, she still had her side relationship with Wayne, so she always had that to look forward to. But, she did bring this one guy up, who she only brought up at the very beginning of the book. This guy named Bruce. Remember, on the first blog, I was saying, how, he was supposed to have given her, I think, $2,800 for the rent. Now, at this point, she's in her apartment. In the beginning of the book, that's basically how she started it out. Started talking about this period of her life. And then she went back. So up until this point, she brings this guy Bruce up again. Now, she was saying she met him in 2006. And, they fucked around for a little bit. They had a little friendship. But he got married a year later, in 2007, around the same time that she met Aaron. Or not met him, but started having dealings with him. So it's drizzling out here too, by the way, y'all. So I'm walking slow for a reason. I'm trying to stay under these trees. Anyway, yeah. So dude Bruce had got married in 2007. So she stopped messing with him like that. So they just was friends from that point. Now going back to 2010, her little situations and all that she was going through. Because she had needed help paying her bills, she kind of brought that dude back in her life. So he'll help her here and there. Only thing is, he got a little arrogant with it. It started, she was saying, that he kind of made it like a fucking, like a trick type of understanding. You know what I'm saying? Even though it kind of seemed like that's really what it was. If he fucking her, or he giving her money, and she got to give him some ass in return. That's basically what it is. But she said he was making it like that type of arrangement, I guess, overtly, or making it so obvious. But she didn't like that. And she hated the fact that she had to depend on him. But since 2010, mid-2010, he was helping her out here and there. And as far as this third apartment, as far as where I picked up at, like I say, Aaron was in the picture, but he was, doing his little routine. She said he'll help out when he can, but as far as Bruce is paying for groceries and stuff like that. But again, he was kind of arrogant about this little hold he had over her. So, as she pointed out in the beginning of the book, she had to move. She moved in September the 12th or the 11th. I think I'm going to say September the 11th. She had to move from her apartment. Now, again, this correlates to the little, $2,800 that he was supposed to give her, even though he only gave her $2,000. But she said 2 weeks before she moved, it was another guy that she mentioned briefly that she had some type of dealings with. And the only reason why she bring this guy up because he's related to another guy that she started fucking around with named Taj. Now, again, 2 weeks before she moved, she went to this restaurant called the Boa Steakhouse. And she was saying when she went out to have dinner with this guy, and mind you, this is all after Nigel, all right? Because remember, they stopped officially fucking around in January. In March of that very fucking year, 2012, and that's a correction I got to make real quick too. When I mentioned at the end of my blog before this, I said around 2012, I meant to say 2013 because when their divorce was finalized as far as her and Nigel. But anyway, so around in this very fucking year, 2012, she went to the steakhouse in early September. And if not, late August, but it's still 2 weeks before she moved. She went to this restaurant, actually, Boa Steakhouse. And when she went there, she noticed a guy that walked out. He looked like he was kind of upset. He was walking out. It was a guy named Taj. And before he left, the guy that she was with introduced her to Taj, even though it was real brief. But then he left, and the female that Taj was with, he left her sitting there for 2 hours looking like an asshole. So after that little ordeal, she eventually moved out. And I'm not going to highlight everything as far as, Aaron not really helping her move and him getting mad, punching in the cabinet. That's just reiteration. But anyway, she moved out. And it was a hotel that she had went to somewhere in Woodland Hills. Yes, she said somewhere in Woodland Hills. I don't know if that's within Los Angeles or it's just another city within itself. I'm not sure. But it's in California somewhere. She went to Woodland Hills. She went to a hotel out there, and she took her son with her. And she noted that she had mentioned this hotel before in her first book, The Confessions of a Video Vixen. She said she went to the hotel in 2000, around that time. So this is her second time going there. Now, as she's sitting there, she stayed there for a whole week. She's sitting up there doing a little bit of recollecting and going over her life and trying to figure out, what is the root causes of her being in that situation that she was. And, she started reflecting on what happened when she got raped. Was it her dad? Was it her mom? Her mom being neglectful? Was there other people? She's trying to figure this all out. And she said, her son, she felt bad. She felt guilty because she was putting her son in an uncomfortable situation as well. Because, she's not, I was going to say at this point, but I'd rather say obviously she's not solo in this situation. So she got that little baggage as far as her son is concerned, for lack of a better word. She got that little baggage right there. And he's about, 13? 13 going on 14 and shit. So she got him to worry about, and he's a little bit more mature. This ain't something that's going on when he's 2 years old. He's not like Jonah, you know what I'm saying? So he got a little bit more comprehension as far as the development of his fucking mind is concerned. So he's affected by this also. So that weighed on her as well. And let me see what else. She was thinking okay, I got 3 weeks to get my residual checks. So she's trying to figure out her next move. So she had this book that is her phone book, her personal phone book, and she was saying she had so many fucking names up in there, hundreds of names, but only a couple of people that she knew she could call to rely on. So she had another buddy. Aside from Deneen as well, because her spiritual guide Deneen, she confided her, of course. This is the third time she brings her up, confided her to help her get through her little situation. But as far as her phone book, it was a female named Tasha that she ended up calling. And Tasha agreed for her to, to come to her crib and stay over there for a little bit. But she was saying this lady Tasha lived in a certain area of California that she referred to as disreputable. It's kind of like ghetto-ish. Which is, kind of similar to the east side of Los Angeles. Not California, but the east side of Los Angeles. So I was kind of wondering, okay, is it kind of the same neighborhood or same area, or is it different? Because she really didn't get specific as far as exactly where this lady Tasha lived at, as far as what I could recall. But, as she's in her car and she's driving toward there, her son felt uncomfortable, but she used the term shocked. And she was saying the area as far as the construction and all that was dilapidated. And she had told her son, don't worry about it. She'll figure something out. They're not going to be stuck there for long. So she arrived at this lady's house, and then they spent the night. The next morning she got up. I guess that kind of lingered in her head as far as her worry about how her son, Naeem, felt about it. So the next day when she got up, she took him and she had drove to a friend's house in a suburb that she used to live in, as she said. So in the midst of her taking her son to the suburbs, she was text messaging this guy Taj. Now let me also put a little background to this. When she was at that hotel, right, and she was going through her little Twitter account, dude somehow got in contact with her. So I'm thinking in my mind, when he got introduced to Karrine, he had it in his, basically he had some type of interest. So he got in contact with her, and she said they would send private messages back and forth. So as she's dropping her or taking her son to this lady's house, she was supposed to get that over with, and she was gonna get her nails done. But she texting this guy back and forth, and she kind of enjoyed the conversation because it was a way. Oh, I thought my phone cut off. It was a way for her to take her mind off her present or off her current situation. So they're going back and forth, and he was suggesting that they meet up. She eventually agreed. Now, I think she got her nails done right after this, and she said she wanted to get her nails done because she had made some moves, like as far as like firing her attorney and all that, so she could try to figure out how to get her shit published instead of going through like a middleman. She wanted to do it herself, so she educated herself on how to do that. So she was getting prepared for this. Like she had some type of meetings coming up, I think like a week or two later. So she went to a nail salon ahead of time, which I think she should have waited, because it's like, damn, your shit gonna chip away. It's gonna wane eventually, within a 2 weeks time. But anyway, so she agreed to meet this dude. So they had met she dropped her son off, and this is what happened. She dropped their son off, and she decided the place that they was gonna meet at, it was some type of barbecue spot, some Korean barbecue spot, she said in her book, and it was at like a little mall in like a discreet area, you know what I'm saying? And she called it like a hole in the wall, basically. So they agreed there, and they met up, and so they sitting up there, they talking, and she was enjoying the conversation. He was making her laugh. She said he was humorous, and come to find out, he directed the video called "Hold Me Back" or something like that. Some video back by Rick Ross that came out that year. As additional background information, this particular song that this guy happened to be the director of is a song that she said helped her get through her pain when she was at the hotel with her son. So the hotel in Woodland Hills. So anyway, she found that out as she was talking to dude back and forth. So she letting him know what was going on as far as her life and what she was worried about. So when they get up and they left, they went to another hotel called the Mondrian. And that hotel could have been where, she unveiled this personal shit. Either way, they went to that hotel Mondrian, and they was talking for a little bit. She said they sat by a pool, and that's when he decided, that's when actually she told him about her little, semi-homeless situation. So he told her, he suggested, like, why don't you just move with me? She got excited. She agreed with it. And then he was like, okay, well, let me go ahead and hit this Target real quick so I can get your bed sheets and all of that. And, obviously she agreed to meet him there. So she hurried up and she shot home or to Tasha's house. When she got there, she said half of her stuff was still like unpacked. Same thing with dude, kind of, because when he suggested that she stay with him, he did tell her that he was in the midst of moving himself, so he had a lot of stuff in storage still. But anyway, she went to Tasha's house, she left, and then she went to his crib. So when she went to his crib, she went to Target to meet him at Target. By the time she got there, he was done shopping. Then they left and they went to his crib. And she said he lived in a beautiful fucking apartment building in the downtown area. And so they go upstairs, and as far as like her observations about where he lived, that she said a lot of the doors in his crib was made out of glass, so she'll be able to see what he was doing. So she goes in the shower, and she said she relieved herself of her pain. Now, I don't know if I'm making too much of this at this point, but in one of her interviews that I seen, it's like a podcast that she was on. It was two guys and her, and they was talking about like sex, and they kept saying like people that got a lot of aggression and shit like that, they indulge in dominatrix. You know what I'm saying? And it helps them get that aggression and anger out. So I don't know if she was in that motherfucker fingering herself or whatever, but she did say, she got herself relieved in the shower. She get out the shower, she lays on the couch. When she laying on the couch, she paying attention to dude because he was cleaning his house up the whole time. When he got done, he went to a computer, he sat down, and he was working. Now, she said she noticed in the midst of the conversation, he was an intelligent guy because he talked about art and all that type of stuff, and visuals and still images and what they elicit from the person that's watching it, etc. So she paying attention to him at his computer, and she was kind of touched by that because he basically had ambition, the same ambition that she had previous to her situation. But she still had enough ambition to want to get her shit back off of the ground. So the way that he carried himself and what he was like served as a inspiration from her point of view. So she kind of dozed off. She woke up. When she woke up, it was like 4 a.m. She noticed he was still at the computer. Again, that's a big ass kudo toward him from her. So she gets up and she walked to him, and she put her hands around his neck and she started kissing on him and shit like that. And he whispers something. He whispered something to her, but she kind of cut it off at that point. But obviously they got down. So then like she stayed for like the next three days, I believe. And let me see. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything if I cut this off. They obviously got down. They had sex. I think she said, 3 days later, she stayed. 3 days later, he met her son, Naeem. And she said it was real, like, they had a lot of they was cordial with each other, but they got along pretty well. And she was pleased to see that. And she said that they were very alike. Only thing that distinguished both of them was, like, their ages or whatnot. And so she was looking at Taj and she analyzing it, and she's like, okay, he seemed like a good father figure, this and that. Now, that's where I stopped at, but, I'm kind of like, I don't know, I'm wondering if her little relationship with him is going to somehow, like, get derailed or not turn out to be as she expected, because where I picked off at on page 55 and going onward, she did say that she stayed there in that hotel for about 2 to 3 months. That's what she said. Even though she ended up spending the night at her friend Tasha's house and then meeting this guy Naj. So thinking ahead, even though I got to continue reading this, I'm like, shit, something going to happen to where she's going to end up back at this hotel. Because, like I said, starting from page 55 and maybe like a couple of pages after that, she did mention that she stayed at the hotel for 2 months. All right? So she moved out her apartment in September, early September. So that would be what? September, October, November. She would have to have been at that hotel until November at least. Now, this whole situation that's going on right now, to me, it has to be just an interval. And all of this happy shit that's going on with this guy, Taj, something is going to happen to where she's going to end up back at this hotel. That's what I'm thinking so far, unless, she stays with him for a little bit till he get ready to move out like he said he had to, and maintains a relationship with him and is not able to stay there at Tasha's house, so she would have to go back to the hotel. That's the only other way that I can understand it. But like I say, she did say she stayed at that motherfucker for 2 months. So that's where I'm at so far. I'll let y'all tomorrow. Again, this ain't nobody's study. This is just what I'm reading because I'm fucking interested in it. So I'll finish it tomorrow. I think I probably got like 2 more blogs of this and I'll be done. And possibly I'll be done tomorrow. All right, I'll let y'all YouTube.